Hello everybody, welcome to ICC's Game of the Day. I'm Grandmaster Joel Benjamin, and today I have action for you from round 3 of the Norway Super Tournament. It was a pretty eventful round. There was a couple of decisive games and very nearly another one. First, the games that we're not going to feature, Aronian against Jan Ludwig Hammer. That game ended in a draw. A lot of maneuvering, but Aronian never managed to really get anywhere. Anand and Grischuk was a fairly sharp Sveshnikov, and looked like both sides had their chances, but that also ended in a draw. So the first game we're going to take a look at is one of the decisive games of the round, a big win for Topalov, who has a share of the lead after 3 rounds, and a very bad debacle for Maxime Vacher-Lagrave. So let's take a look at it. I'll show you the opening, but I'm going to kind of speed through it. It's a Slav defense. Doesn't look like it, but now it is. And it's going to be a Moran variation. And it's stuff that pretty much has been played many times before. And you kind of wonder what Vacher-Lagrave was thinking, because he just goes into this line, and then at some point, he just doesn't have any good ideas. And then from this position, he goes down pretty quickly, already targeting the e4 pawn. And I don't think that this is such a great position for white, but this knight d5 is definitely a very poor move, as black takes and then just avoids any tactics by taking d5 with the move queen d7. And now e4 is coming forward. The d5 pawn isn't going to last. This is kind of a key point, that bishop a5 was answered by e4. If white takes the rook, black will take the knight and attack the queen and then take the bishop. So when the knight retreated to g1, well, if the knight retreats to d2, then black can just run this pawn right through, attacking the knight and also threatening to fork 2 rooks, which you don't get to do very often with the pawn. And so after knight g1, just simply bishop c7 is winning the d-pawn, and Vacher tried a little trickery here, tried to hold on to that d-pawn, but after queen c6, he decided to give it up before he losing even a pawn, because if he defends the mate on g2, black can just, well, simply take the pawn on d6, massive advantage, or queen c7 check, hoping to limp into an ending. Rook d2 would be very convincing. So Topalov knocking out MVL in a very short game of only 28 moves, and most of it theory, so bad day for the Frenchman. Next, we're going to move on to a battle between the 2 American players, Hikaru Nakamura and Fabiano Caruana. Okay, so Nakamura and Caruana, each of them started with a 1.5 out of 2. Caruana coming off a big win over Magnus Carlsen, but today was not his day. Nakamura employing a kind of Seinfeld strategy. For anybody who was a fan of the show Seinfeld, when they were pitching their show to the NBC executives, they said it was a show about nothing. And basically, Nakamura has done pretty much nothing to this point. It's not a very exciting position, and it looks like he doesn't really have very much. But Caruana took a lot of clock time, and then on the 40th move, strangely decided to open the H file without any provocation. It certainly seemed like he could have waited on this move, but he created this opportunity for Nakamura to invade, and this ended up being decisive. They played rook a7, which maybe wasn't such a great idea either, because after the move rook h7,